Hello again, this is Daniel, and today I'm going to be going over a very requested topic, decorating ocarinas. So here's a real boring one right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this one into a strawberry. Well, let's decorate this, and then this one, right here, this particular one, will be for sale on my website after I finish it. What you can do to decorate your ocarinas is you can add little features on the ocarina. You have to make sure it's not too dry. If it's starting to get dry, you can just put a little water on it like so. What you can do is you can even make little animals, like put bird wings around it, or even a turtle. When you're adding a head for a mouthpiece, what you're going to want to do is round it into a ball. It's sort of like an oval shape, and once that dries out a little, you're going to want to actually hollow out most of the inside. Like so. Hang on. There. Hollow out most of the inside. Then you have a tiny little snip for a mouth. Tiny little slit there. Yeah. You can add the little eyes. Like so. Little eyes. Oh, it's a little ugly. It's a little ugly, but I don't care. And then what you do is you pinch this outward like this. Kind of stick your pinky in there, make sure it's plenty hollow, and you stick that on here like so. Then you push that over, put the water over it, and I just put it on the ocarina. I was going to make the strawberry. That's the wrong ocarina. Well, anyway, that's something you can do. You can add the little feet, curve the little feet. Flatten that out so it sits right. You can add the little feet like so. And you just keep doing that and then add a little shell pattern, and that's how you get a little turtle ocarina. But that's not what we're doing right now. What we're doing, oh, this place is filthy. What we're doing is, I just brushed all that clay dust onto my own bed. Oh, this is gonna be fun tonight. Where was I? Oh yeah, making a strawberry ocarina. My God. Alright, don't want it to be too much. I'm going to start with the leaves. So I'm going to take this like this, I'm going to split it. I'm going to split it in half. Kind of put a little more on one side than the other. And then I'm going to roll it out. Like that. Kind of squish it together. Get it a little pointed on most edges. Alright, now let's flatten that. See how it looks. Flatten it pretty well. Alright, let's smooth that out a little. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Let's dip this in our water bowl. Now it's dripping wet. And let's put it on here like this. Alright. Now it doesn't look very good right now. We're going to fix that. I'm going to flatten it out real well. There, it's been flattened out, and it looks nothing like a leaf, does it? Okay. We're gonna flatten it as much as we can. If it goes off a little, that's fine, It can be fixed. Alright, now let's get to the shaping part. I'm gonna shape it like this. What I'm doing is I'm trying to get a triangle to go around here. You can sort of see the triangle up here. Make it a little sharp at the edges. A little sharp, so it's like a little triangle. Pull away the other stuff that you're taking off of it. A little triangle. This one's actually coming out a little far, so we're going to take a little off of that. Wow, I have terrible lighting in here for this camera. Alright, there. And we've got one leaf on it. Now let's do the same for the other side. Now we're going to let that dry for a little bit while I work on this beauty right here. Okay, it's dried. It's dried enough. It's still very wet, but we don't want it to be too dry when we make it. We're going to add the stem to this. Add the stem. Alright, what I'm going to do is roll a little ball. Actually, this camera should be back here and facing up more this way. I don't know. Alright, it's a little ball, and what we're going to do what we did for the little leaves, except only make it thin on one end, and wow, my camera is very out of focus. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, that fixed it. Okay, alright, now we've got it like this. I'm gonna get it a little wet because it's cracking a little. It's kind of weird. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of make sort of like a nail type shape. Get like a little nail head going on it. Alright, like so. Like this. See, it looks like a little nail. Alright, I'm going to get the bottom wet. So I just dip the bottom in water. And we're going to attach this somewhat to the left. Attach it to the left. Actually, it's going to be going over the leaf a little, so where it goes over the leaf, you're going to want to cut a little part out like this. See that? Alright, now I'm going to smooth it over and get this to stick on. This, you can just pinch it. And let's curl it over and have a touch down right here. Now it's really thin. It's a really thin string I'm going to need. So my strings aren't thin, so I'm just going to widen this out a little. Like that. Alright, good. Then what I did is I dipped the tool in the water. And I'm using the back of it to smooth out the inside so it gets a nice round thing and the string's not going to get torn up or cut if it slides around inside there. I'm taking some really wet clay. I'm just going over the tip where the tip touches down, not too much. I just want that to smooth out nicely. Alright, now to get the water, smooth over all of this carefully because it's just attached. It could fall off. So be real careful about it. There. Now we're going to let that dry. Then we can smooth this out. Well, we can get it to look a little more thin once it's dried. And if you are wondering about this ocarina and a tutorial on how to do it, basically it's the 8-hole ocarina tutorial, except larger. It is the 8-hole ocarina shape, but the mouthpiece would normally be here, not here. So go ahead and check that out if you want to know how to make an 8-hole ocarina. This is just a different shape I'm messing with. And let's let that dry now. And I just finished a little video on how to tune ocarinas. Anyway, after doing that, this has dried pretty well. It's still a little wet, but that's good. We're just going to want to make it, we don't want to make it the more detailed version right now. So I probably shouldn't use a sharp tool for this. I should use a flat tool. Flat tool with sort of round edges like this one. Just kind of get it sharper. When you're adding the seeds or any decoration you add to the front of your ocarina, or back, whichever, you want to be real careful. You can go pretty far into it. Like, don't go any deeper than about 1 millimeter. I mean, you don't want to end up poking through. I don't know how thin you're making your ocarinas. I normally make mine pretty thick. You don't want to end up poking through and then changing the tone, adding a hole you shouldn't. Hole that's hard to find. Alright, so we're going to add the seeds real quick. That's something you have to be careful about, the glaze. Just cover this with your thumb completely, trust me, and cover this with your finger when you dip it or paint it or anything. Because that's what killed these. That's what killed the last ocarina I made. So, we're going to set this to dry. I've gotten quite a few questions about how to dry ocarinas properly. You don't want to dry them too quickly. Like, you don't want to stick it under a huge heater or next to a huge heater and have it dry out, because that can actually cause cracks. That's not something that's caused cracks for me before, but it can cause cracks. What I do at most is have them slightly under a little 60-watt lamp See how far under they are? See how far under? You don't want the lamp to be like right above them. So that's a good way to dry them out a little faster. I mean, they take about a day to dry out if you leave them just anywhere. They take about half a day to dry out if they're under a lamp like this, just a little lamp. Yeah, they take a while. Anyway, now that we've added the details to that, all that's left is for me to finish this and fire it. So if you want to see this, it will be on my website, which is in the link below once it's finished. Right now it's on the page called The Workshop, but when it's finished it'll either be under for sale or hopefully sold. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more, and we will see you next time.